That's Bree.
What I look like, y'all?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
lying.
what it is.
Yep, that's Bree.
It's in your room.
You alright? I'm the one in the back.
There we go.
What happened?
Nappy and proud. That is part of our thing.
Oh,
We at Nick House, Bree. Yep, all of us here.
oh, I didn't realize
Jeremy
that
Mario.
we were recording.
Oh.
I
Oh no, there we go. There we go. It's 3, 2, 1. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all want to give? So I don't know who I'm gonna
Yep. You want to bring it down, maybe? That into effect. Oh, that's perfect right there. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Share.
Whenever y'all come on, share.
Yep. Is it too loud? Well, we'll get in the comments eventually when they tell us if it's too loud.
Is the music too loud?
We'll see. Alright. I'm finna go ahead and share. If you tuned in, if y'all got y'all devices, everybody who stepped in, tune in, share.
All right, y'all. So y'all know this is my second go on the rodeo.
Yeah. Second go.
So I'm Net with the girl code, and we got
Mario, first time being here.
Alright, and your boy Trevundrian Frozen Deception from the Nappy. Not another podcast people use. And I'll say my little intro thing later on at the end. Yeah.
So as you all know, our topic is Black Love, the discussion. So we're going to talk about Black love from many different perspectives, from the perspective of relationships, the perspective of love as a culture, as a sisterhood and a brotherhood. Savon and Mario,
Oh yeah,
y'all
yeah.
wanna
So
y'all feel first?
definitely. I'm gonna reiterate again. Share, like, love, y'all. Get it around. We still working on our kinks, some setups and technical difficulties or whatever. But let us know also in the comments if y'all can hear good, if it's something's too loud, visual, light, all that. But I'm gonna delve right in on Black love, the definition. So in my mindset, Black love is the overall acceptance and pride in all things melanated. And that comes from the spectrum from, a lighter all the way to the darker mindset. Black love and relationships, black children,
Black businesses.
black businesses, a lot of black businesses, culture for its music, food, everything that you can imagine on the sense of a certain race, of blackness, But I'll let them give their spiel a little bit more on it.
Well, to me, I said that Black love is resilience. It is trust. It is endurance. Black love is legacy. So that's my spiel on what Black love is to me.
I love that legacy part.
Yeah.
I love that legacy part.
I mean, lots of words now.
Yeah. Can you turn it down just a little bit?
Is the music too loud, y'all?
Yeah.
Somebody let us know if the music's too loud.
Yeah.
What's up, Ken?
We see y'all. Keep sharing,
Shay.
man. I'm glad y'all tuned in. Yep. Oh, and we also have on our side, we have our technical crew as well as our what would you say? We have our outside resources as well from the audience, live audience, besides what you view on the video.
Camera.
So I'll introduce Miss
Kia.
Miss Kia. You'll hear her voice in and out.
Hello.
Yep. But definitely. So
I might get on camera.
yep. You never know. You never know. Yeah. I'll let Cuzzo continue on first, fam.
Okay. So I talked to, not only Vaughn, but Kia, regarding some things on Black love. We kind of talked about Black love. I'd like to start off first as a sisterhood, where we kind of discussed things like, being able to be there for one another and help each other. And just like I told her at first, if I make it and I couldn't help anybody else make it, I really didn't make it at all. So, I'm there to try to help my sisters and bring each of you up in any way possible, whatever help you need. to be there, to be supportive, to listen, whatever you all may need.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, the black love support period is something that sometimes not even taught. It's embedded. I know for a fact that one of the popular phrases as we was growing up, it takes a village. And if you want to be real, like before even coming to America or even in America, the village is always strong with protecting each other, loving each other, supporting each other, making sure we rise to the occasion. And that's what produces our longevity for black love and support wise, as she was speaking on. If you have anything to follow up on that, Mario, about what
Well,
what
if you
more
want
of
to
you?
start off with another point.
I know that would be dope too.
I'm just here to get my 2 cents in there now and then.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Well, you know, another thing, I was looking at black love as it comes to like being in a relationship with each other.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes we allow pride to get in our way, so we're afraid to say that, hey, I need you, you know, you need me, and I feel like, you know, we need each other to be able to heal each other and move forward. Because another thing that I looked at when it came to black love was generational trauma, or even the perspective of, you know, what society views a black woman as, what society views a black man as. And I feel like society views a black woman as being loud and obnoxious and always a mad black woman, the girl with the attitude, and then the guys are the ones that, you know, they players, they dogs, you know, they cheat, they mama's boys, they don't really want to do nothing, they want somebody to take care of them. So it's kind of like, I don't want black love to be something that is diminished, something, you know, something that died down. I want it to continue to, you know, grow and be strong, because even when you look in the media, you never really see black love portrayed in a way that's positive. It's either there's a single parent home, it's either arguments between the couple, or split up, or divorce. It's never them always being together.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Where did dog?
Yeah, there you go. Here, I'm gonna
He
work
made it.
and I'm gonna have this too.
Too long.
I just thought it'd be better if I had this real quick. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry. I thought about some things on my computer that I was gonna need, so I came to go back. So, oh shoot. So, on the note what she said, I want to talk about common misconceptions about black love, because like we're gonna be kind of all over the place because this is such a broad topic, but I want to go ahead and give a spiel on that. Put in the comments what are some misconceptions about black love, whether it be black love relationships, black love family, black even black owned businesses, because I know there's a lot of misconceptions about that, and I'm gonna let them come in on their ideas about that, and I'll tune back in with you guys in a minute. But for misconceptions, just off the head. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, if you hear the music, we have Calandra Joyner on the music. We're gonna have also my brother Ginsu the Blurred Philosopher. You're gonna hear a track from him called Gravitational Pull. Go follow them. Go see their pages, YouTube. We're gonna add some links in there later on. And yeah, if you guys like the music too, throw a thumbs up, things like that. Let us know.
Yeah, here with misconceptions.
Misconceptions. Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
I
I got a misconception. Okay, I got a misconception about. I have a misconception about the black father. I'll go there. A lot of common misconceptions about the black father is that we're absent. Now, in a stance where I have my father, and I have many other fathers that I also, you know, look up to as, you know, as a male figure parental. It's a common misconception that they're not here, and because they're not here is destroying the strength of it. Now, I do have the contradiction of saying yes, that can be true, and yes, it has been true in so many instances, but as the overall, because of what I've experienced, because of what I've seen other people experience, I actually believe the black father is here and is working the hardest to continue keeping on. Now, is there certain things or certain mannerisms or certain things that are lacking? or can be heightened on, I definitely believe we can always heal in some form or fashion.
Right.
You know, there may be what some people say toxic masculinity, or lack of emotional response, lack of the balance you may need to provide or to
Even
even
if it's
support.
not toxic masculinity, I feel like it's the let go.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Someone told me that feminism is destroying the black male, or the black mentality for men. Not, I'll take away black.
Men.
Yes, men. Period. And I really want to know if that's true. Put that in the comments and let me know. But I'm gonna let them go on that, because I think Mario might also have a strong opinion about some stuff on that nature.
But as far as the perspective of misconceptions of black women as mothers, kind of where you hear some people say, I'm the mom and the dad,"
Mm.
which is, I don't know if I want to label or say that it's a bad thing, but it's not all that positive either, because it's kind of difficult for a woman to kind of raise a son on their own, and there not be a male figure there, because it's kind of like, I can tell you. So it's like when you're raising your son and you're like, well, a man should do this, a man should do that, a man is supposed to do this, a man is supposed to do that, but that's different coming from a woman, because I feel like it's coming from a place of what we think a man should be. Because I've never been a man, so I don't know how to be a man. I don't know what it's like to be a man. So that's why I always feel as if it's always important, even if the father is not someone who is completely there, even if you have a guy that's a friend, or the child has a coach or a teacher at the school, or an uncle, a cousin, a brother, your dad, your granddaddy, somebody that's there to be a positive male figure in that child's life, because as a woman there is still so much that you can go and do when it comes to raising a son.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I have a question. What about a perception of the? I think girls, they need their fathers too.
Yeah.
I think it's like either or, because
Right.
Having girls and boys, and I just could see my daughters having somebody to open the door for them, to teach them what a man needs to teach, what they need to do, so when they get older and dating right, oh, my daddy did this and that. Because girls, we always get our daddy a high prop, so we don't. So it's kind of like, well, how do you do that then, if the daddy is not there with the daughter? So we try to teach them, like, well, they're supposed to open the door and do this, do that. But as most single black mothers, we go through a lot.
Right.
So we be trying to figure it out ourselves, to try to figure it out with them too.
With them, right.
Yeah, so I think they important in both men and
A woman, and I think that's where, like, you get the concept when it comes to women, where some girls kind of say they have daddy issues,
oh yeah.
because it's kind of like, because they don't have their fathers there in their lives, they're looking for that father figure in the guy or the male that they date. Of course, she's not a person of African American descent, but she's a perfect example. Marilyn Monroe. I watched her movie, and when I watch movies, I'm real analytical. So, I noticed that most of the guys that she dated, she called them daddy. Daddy this, daddy that, daddy this, daddy that. And it's kind of like they were that person that were filling that void in her life, because she didn't really have her father there.
Right.
And then they kind of looked to that man to give them instruction, when to do this, how to do that, because they looked for that in that person, because they didn't have their fathers that were there.
Okay.
And then it's kind of like, when their perception of what a man is supposed to be to a woman, I feel like it's so different, because they didn't have their dad there. And then even
it's
if
like more control.
Right.
More control.
So what would be your ideal perception of?
What did Gensu say?
Oh, Gensu. Oh, to the comments of Gensu, it said, in the village you should still have access to a father figure even when your dad isn't at home. That's black love. That's dope.
It is.
That's dope, and I think we all can agree to that. What are some of your perceptions on what your ideal black father would be then? And then we can, alternate it to black mother as well.
Well, I lost my father when in 2009. So I had a stepdad. So I always had somebody to intervene, but from my father, because my stepdad did a wonderful job raising me, but
Dope,
my father,
dope.
what I wanted him to was choose me. It's a I watch Grey's Anatomy a lot. It's a episode when Grey asks the doctor, choose me. I'm the one. I'm this and that. And I started to see myself in a lot of relationships. And it goes back, and I was like, choose me. I'm this. So you start to see yourself do this and do that. And then I had thought about it one day, and I had watched it about me being a lead. I watched it, and I was like, that's what I wanted my father. Even though he's dead and gone, I wanted him to choose me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm your daughter. I'm the one. I'm calling out for your help. Choose me. So I think as a woman, we have to understand our father's gone.
Right.
So we have to, it's just blunt. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. But we got our Heavenly Father. If you want to go there, we have Him. But I know someone that's right there, this and that. You just going to have to understand that, you know, He's gone. But if somebody's trying to come in and be like a father figure to you, and you can see yourself being like this, because I have patients that consider themselves, I'm their daughter. I got a patient right now who's not doing good. And the last thing he told me before I found him unresponsive was, I don't know what I'll do without you. And it bothers me that he's probably not going to be here with us no longer. So if you can find anything in anybody else, because sometimes you can go to them instead of them coming to you.
Yeah.
So
Can you give your name? We have some guests that's asking about. Give your name again. That's asking about you speaking. Yeah, you might. We might. We're gonna have to probably say.
Pop in and speak.
Yeah.
Her name is Kia.
Yeah. Matter of fact, just you can come through and just wave and say hey to people, and then
hello,
and then.
guys. I'm pretty today.
We can, all right. This is our audience guest. But, what about you, Mario? What do you think for the perspective on a black father?
Well, to touch bases on what she said, like you said, it is as far as being a mother, it's hard raising a son, and like she said, there's certain things you can teach them, certain things you can't teach them.
Right.
And with that actually says a lot, because I was fortunate enough to have both my parents in my life.
Dope.
I still have both my parents in my life. They've been over 20-something years married, so I was able to watch both of them.
I know. Shout out to that so much. In the comments, shoot for if like
I'm sorry.
2-parent household, 1-parent household. Let us know what your household looked like. You know, all families are organic, so let us know what your family looked like for the presence and who's there, who's not. Well, you got to put the who's there, and what type of household you lived in the comments. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I was fortunate enough to have both of them in my life, whereas in some cases where me and my mother would bump heads a lot, my father be the only one to get through to me. And if he wasn't there, then of course I had my older brothers. They watched him, they learned from him, so they was able to get through to me. Okay, maybe you shouldn't do this, maybe you should do this.
Dope.
When it comes to certain lessons and everything, and it's the same way around for my little sister. Certain things my father couldn't get through to her, but my mother understood.
Right.
So she had to carry that pepper across that bridge.
That question, how her dating world is like, not saying in her business, but if she can feel like she can go to you and her dad a lot when it comes to about men and stuff, and y'all kind of understand who she's dating and what they headspace at that time.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I dropped the ball on that at one point. I have made her feel as well where she couldn't come to me because I'm so nonchalant about everything. I made her feel as if she couldn't come to me about anything, but she can. I could have, if she would have asked me, yes. Okay, if he's doing this, then it's probably because of this reason.
And that's what I wish I had a brother.
Yeah.
I got a strong sister. Shout out to my sister. But a brother that can kind of, tell me like, give me advice like, hey, what y'all thinking about at this point in time in y'all life? Because how we go through parts, they go through parts too. And you don't be knowing this and that. And I think I was watching something. TDJ said that women think in circles, men think straight. Like, like
it's
we'll go,
So, I want to touch on that with the women's women think in circles and men think in straight line, because I have a really strong father. Like, when I say strong, I mean like when it comes to being a pillar, and sometimes it's great to see the outside. It's great to make sure you're circling around your issues, you're around your problems, around the people that you are working for, things like that. And sometimes I think all of our opinions can be straightforward, but I do believe that black men, or just men period, we do sometimes think in a straight line, because it's more logical, or it's more it's easier, because we have the goal is like instant, and the details we feel like work themselves out, or the details are already supposed to be known.
But you
And
know,
and
I'm sorry, but a lot of men I have watching their blogs and stuff, they say they think that we know what y'all think. Like, we should know this. Like, how could we be so not knowing? We should know that, but we
Yeah.
know we'll get together. Now, girl, tell me what he say. Like, we try to think about it and try to analyze it, and then that don't be nothing what y'all be
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah. So that's where that communication
Because
part is
I
like
have
needs
asked
to
my
come in.
husband, I said, well, what was you thinking when I was coming down the aisle? Like, me watching movies and stuff, thinking, oh, I'm this and that. He was thinking, like, I'm finna really do this, huh?
Right.
And I'm thinking, like, crying and out my eyes and stuff. Not nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, that we just, we have to, we as women, I'm going to say, that's the point, you guys, that we don't have to understand women, black women, that men don't think nothing like us. And we have to understand at a point when to do
Yeah,
that.
I definitely would agree. I would have to be real candid and say,
Because I be thinking about chicken, you
Yeah.
probably thinking about fish.
Like,
you know, we just don't think nothing alike.
that goes to like, do you know what you want to eat? Do you know what you want to eat? Because I know what I want to eat, and if I throw something to you, like, just be concise and consistent.
But I would say that's a way of that question to me, though, kind of how to fix it, as we can say. We have to, not trying to bash us black women, but we really need to step back a little bit and just understand that they don't think nothing like us.
Right.
And we just got to get it. I know we get on the phone, because my husband say, when you get on the phone, what you be talking about? I said, we be talking about this show, that show, that you watch Survivor, R. Kelly, trying to analyze and this and that. We do that, but men, we got to come to you guys and say, well, hey, what you think about this? Y'all
okay.
just don't think like we do, and we need to understand that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
We just need to understand it.
I think I'm gonna make a few points because I want to address Ginsu, and then I want to address what Kia's saying. But Ginsu, he kind of mentioned that that even when there are two-parent households, there are still some struggles, but there are some things that are kind of like, swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's true, whether it be that you have a father in the household who is there in their child's life, they're physically, but they're not emotionally available, to their sons or to their daughters, because they may be too caught up in maybe working or whatever they're caught up with. But sometimes that's not always the case or addressed. And then to kind of touch on what Kia said as far as the thinking process, I do agree that women think the total opposite of what a male might think. But I do also, one thing I do want to say, like, as far as women, is that we have, like, intuition.
We got
Good intuition. And I would say that in some cases where there were some times where I have thought some things, and if I talk to him about it, it's kind of like, that was the furthest thing from my mind. But at the same time, there were some things where I was like, okay, he acting like this because of this, and sometimes it was actually what it was. So it's kind of like a two-way thing.
You gotta have that good, I always tell us, God bless us women with a good discernment, and good, we just got that. We will analyze the mess out of you, but that is true too.
Yeah.
We just gotta think. But I have ran across some people who think one way, who think like, oh girl, he bought me some flowers, we finna get married. Or, yeah.
Like they take it and run with it.
Yeah, you have to be open-minded. You have to understand where he's at, because everybody gonna know where that man is at that point, even their father or their uncle or whatever, where they at that point. And for me, when my father was at that point, and what I was missing was, he loved me when it was time to go. I think he knew that he was finna get ready to go, and he loved me. He let me know that I messed up, but I'm finna go, but I love you. And I can appreciate that better. Even though I get sad sometimes, wish I had more, but I can appreciate that he fixed it. And I think that's the thing in my life, like coming to tell me that, hey, I messed up, but I fixed it. That's when in a
Right.
relationship, like fix
Right.
it before you leave. And then I can appreciate that of knowing that it's closure.
Right.
I think black men doesn't give us closure, and that's why we be so all over the
All
place.
over the place.
Because
So-
we don't get closure.
Closure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, one of my scenes when it comes to the difference in mentalities of men and women is, though there may be so much more intuition or maturity emotional wise, and we definitely, and us males can definitely have so much more. We can be a little bit more emotional, or we can be, but there's also been a discord with when we do, how much we get like backfire, backlash from it. A lot of us black males will say that like we can be emotional, but then we instantly get that, oh, you weak if you do it, or you're soft, or you know you might have tendencies that's not considered norm or considered like a positive, I guess a positive of what a black man should be. And that goes from just, you know, making sure we don't define us in the sense where we all need to be a certain
So
thing.
how do y'all feel that y'all should be, I'm gonna say, overall?
I'm gonna let Mario start on this. We had a good conversation the other day about that, but you.
Because why I asked, because my son went through that period of tendencies. And I had to tell him, you know, and we had a talk, and he said, I know about that. He like, I know it's supposed to be man and woman, you know, to him. And, you know, that's what we taught on his beliefs or whatever. He was like, but they just don't know this and that. So this is what we did. For Valentine's Day, we let him, for his 5th period class, buy flowers for all the girls. You know, they was just so amazed that he did that. But I had to get him out of his shell because I told him, you too close in, kind of open up and kind of talk to them, talk to different people, whatever,
Right.
and then they can kind of understand you better. You just like me, we get in our cocoon and we don't want to talk to nobody. And sometimes we get out of our cocoon, we do want to talk. But my son was going through that hard last year, dealing with people saying these things to him and how to handle it. But I think he handled it well. But it bothers me that he was, because as a mom, you want to go there and fight every child at school. But you can't do that.
Mamas would do that. Like mamas would do that. Eh?
But it was just hard for him. So Mario, you can just kind of say how you feel about
For
that.
to when I said about if a black male he messes up in his league.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah.
He messes up in his what?
In his league.
When he's leading. Okay.
Okay.
I think that got a lot to do.
Yeah.
He messed up in his league.
Leading.
Leading.
When a black male leads, or any male leads, for that matter, of course it's expected for the male to lead. But if he messes up at any point, then that's gonna be on his primary resume. That's gonna stick with him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well you messed up, so from now on, I'm gonna make decisions from now on.
So when it start, does it start in younger or?
I think somebody just said that.
Yeah.
Kate,
I'll read from here. What's
Right
KJ?
here.
Shout out. This is Tootie Calandra Joyner. She's on Facebook. She put her link on. She put her link for her YouTube page. We're gonna go back to her music later on in the show. But one of her comments says, "That's true. That's true. We're not taught to deal with emotions because we feel that's weak for our boys to even show them. So we immediately tell them to get right, or boys don't cry, or you're acting like a girl. That is.
I think it starts when they're kids
So
because
when you're younger.
Yep. No slack. Guess who said yes?
And-
we don't get slack on it because I think it's a lot of things that plays to the reason why black men are expected to be a little bit more stronger or not to be acting like a girl or to be it's because black men are in a sense, and this is a lot of it is opinion too, it's supposed to be the pillar or foundation of the black family. Like when you see it, it's not supposed to have weaknesses. It's not supposed to be able to hurt. It's not.
Make a point too.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be able to even show any type of weakness when you're thinking about the overall candidacy of a black family. You look at that head, you look at that father, and that father got his stuff together.
Everything else
That
falls
family
in line.
must be falling in line like it's supposed to as well.
Okay.
And if you see any type of blemish to it, it's like, oh well, that man is not like he's not a man, and it's deeper for for us black males to experience that as we grow with people, because then we start taking in tendencies of hyperactiveness, or the way we may even interact with individuals out in the streets or at work or within our own kids and family is like we react in a very aggressive manner because of that constant of years and years of saying like you need to behave a certain way, you need to look a certain way, you ain't supposed to be crying, so you're not supposed to be having any thoughts of even depression, like black people ain't supposed to be depressed.
They're supposed to have no
apparently.
mental illness.
Yes,
If they do, they're embarrassed about
Yeah.
it. When it's kind of like it's not your fault. Were you done?
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So the other thing I was going to kind of say to piggyback off of what they were saying is that as far as the black male and being emotional, was that I feel like nobody wants. They feel as if vulnerability is a sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
When I think, to me personally, I think it's strength. Because you have no problem with saying, okay, this bothered me. I didn't like how this happened. I didn't like how that happened. But then I also think that it goes back to that thing that I said when we first started the video, when I said generational trauma.
Right.
And I feel like that goes all the way back to slavery. And sometimes I feel as if the black male feels as if, okay, I have a point to prove.
Right.
I'm not going to be weak. I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be strong in every way possible, because so many years prior to, I was told how to feel or I'm going to feel how I want to feel. I'm a man, so I have to prove the point that I am a man, because if you think back then, even if you was a man then, you were still a boy regardless. So that's why I think that it's also one of those things. It's kind of like a generational trauma.
Yeah, I get to the realization that a lot of times, and I love what millennials are doing. Shout out to millennials. Millennials, I'm gonna be honest, are opening up a whole spectrum of like truth or addressing. Like we'll address it. Like we gonna sit here. Like so I posted earlier. It says like that generation is like 85 to about 95. Like we're stuck between the Generation X and the younger generation, and we have a certain concept of mentality. Like we're between industrialization and internet development. So we have a best of both worlds. And we kind of actually bring in those conversations. We bring in those talks. We actually tell people like it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to cry. It's okay to actually tell people that you hurting. It's okay to tell people that you don't want to fight right now. I don't want to like for the black woman. It's like it was something on Trigger Warning that said the woman literally broke down and says like I don't want to be strong all the time. I don't want to be always the independent. I want to also be taken care of or need to
You want
show myself.
somebody to be there. Lord have mercy, my head.
Yeah.
But you want somebody to be there to take up the slack for you sometimes,
Yeah.
because sometimes being strong is hard and it wears on you, because
It
when
does.
you always feel like you need to be strong, you feel as if there was absolutely no room for error.
Right. Yeah. It's
I know I
when
went-
you're break.
Right, when you break,
Mhm.
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to say, hey y'all.
Yep.
Another
Got
thing
more
that I
people
wanted to
coming
say
in.
was that I was watching. It was something that was on BET. It was a documentary or something like that. And you know, they can y'all sit down wherever y'all want.
Yeah. We got more
But,
people coming in. Got
maybe
Anna
y'all wanna
McCarran,
get a
the
chair
Nappy,
over here.
JR.
But,
That's a quote I posted a couple of days ago. JR gave me that quote. We got him visiting. Y'all go check out my old stuff on my page too. But go ahead.
But yeah, it was a woman, and she was speaking, and she was kind of saying how like the black woman is the most disrespected woman. I agree with that. And I would even like to say that I have a hard time dealing with a guy, and if we talking and he like, that bitch did this, and I'm like, that who did what?
Yeah.
Because to me, you just call me what you just called her because I'm a part of that culture. What she is, she's a female. I'm a female. So to me, you just called me out of my name too, and I have a real issue with that. And I feel like even with music, this whole this bitch that this slut, you know, everything, the thought, all that, and like it's so much so to sometimes we ain't even got no problem with saying I'm a thought.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's
like
glorious.
you embrace
or I'm
Yeah.
I'm that bitch. You know, it's kind of like
So do you guys think
Not
that?
that you are, I'm saying.
I know, but
Yeah, we
That's what I
Do you think there's any music out here or any individuals that actually are still supporting a positive image of black people, black women, black men in their music or in their art?
I think personally, all of them are
Mm-hmm.
in their own mind. I think sex sells.
Okay.
I think they sell.
I mess with that. I'm gonna tell you why I mess with that because I've been in this awakening towards like artistry lately, and it has been a lot of sensual stuff. It's like I have been embracing the female black form, the male black form. I've been embracing myself. Like that actually is something that I can say that I wouldn't mind hearing in music. I think I ain't saying that Tatiana is like the bomb is music, but when I think about someone busting down or someone even thinking of even like enjoying what they have in curves, like some of it is actually like it's not objectifying. It's actually, you know, appealing. It's actually attractive. It's actually me embracing that I have a certain figure or pride. Tatiana might not be the best, you know, one to say, but you know,
but that goes. I'm not trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
But that goes to this point, though. To my family needs to eat.
Ooh.
A black woman and a black man, especially like we were saying in the 50s and the 60s time, they made sure they family ate. No questions.
they
Yeah.
did.
They did what they
did.
had to do. I heard stories. Women, my family have told me, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But with these rappers and movie people, I need to do what I gotta do so my family's gonna get fed.
Yeah.
She gonna be a hoe and a slut on this track, but hey, this just brought us in $2 million, you know, type of thing. So it's
Kinda like
not
they're trying to
right.
make it
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
it's really not right because you gotta understand yourself, who you are in the Lord. You know, if
Okay.
you in the Lord, you always gonna be fed. You know, so you have to understand that too. So I feel that all of them do have that standards. They care. They don't want to be like that. But it's like my
If they
family
put
got
money on
eat.
the table.
They got they
But
got
another
eat.
thing, like, cause you know you brought up the rappers, that I will say one thing that I have noticed is that how some rappers now are okay, and these particular rappers I've not heard them disrespect the black woman in any way, but Gucci Mane, he recently got married. He's okay with that. He's fine with showing off his wife. Jay-Z, Papoose and Remy Ma. Who else?
T.I.
Uh,
Man, he ain't.
well, T.I.
Yeah, but he kind of
Yeah, I've
on the
been messing
verge now. He kind of
Some
on
of
the
us,
trying
some
to
of
right
us
there,
living,
but,
some of us
But
leaking
you
out
know
there.
what fucked T.I. up though? When his sister pays. Even
Yeah,
though
he
it's
slipped.
recently, that kind of woke him up.
Yeah, so that goes back to what type of traumas or what type of situations that happen in our lives that has caused us to react instead of, you know, be proactive into it. Like there's a difference between reactive and lashing out or feeling like I have to be so defensive compared to if we can take time and process. Like we don't have enough. Yes, like I'm gonna be honest. I want people to be vulnerable because it actually gets you. It gets you to the nitty gritty of the core of your issues and problems without actually it being something of I have to fight through it to get through it. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with fighting. Like there's nothing but strength in the black community. Period. Black fathers, black mothers, even black children, and y'all don't even know it. Y'all like our young ones don't even know that they have so much more strength than what they actually may have been told, what they may see in media and things like that. So that vulnerableness where I would love that men and women would show in our community. It's like it's okay that, you know, we go religious wise and you talk to your pastors, you have a faith. It's okay to go counseling.
Go to
support.
counseling.
I support counseling.
Yeah,
Yep. I support it highly.
Don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong with the pastor and talking to your pastor, this and that. But I think I looked at something too. When we don't take care of our mental health, just like if we have heart problems and this and that, we're gonna take care of that. But your mental health, and I'm telling you, it can drive you up the wall, and you don't understand what's going on. And this is what I've been this is what I was last week.
Yeah.
I was in a mental breakdown. Like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? And it was my mental health. And we don't want to get mental health. We want to go and check on this and that. But when we say, oh, hey, Nick, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
You ain't depressed. Go pray, Daddy. I'm depressed. I'm thinking things in my head. I'm feeling this type of way. I had a major surgery. And I'm depressed right now. To this day, I'm depressed. But I got people around me just pulling me out of it. It's not saying, oh, ain't nothing wrong with you. You know. So that's another thing with us too. The mental part of it, we does not want to get help, and it's okay to go talk to your pastor.
What about you, Mario? Do you think there's any like too strength or not strong enough? What values you think are within us?
I'm gonna say too much pride.
Too much pride?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much pride. People, they feel like as a way of saying is too much pride to go seek help.
Yeah.
And some people feel like it is you too. They consider you weak if you come to seek help.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm referring back to my sister. She was feeling at some point she was feeling a point of depression and everything, and she finally got the courage to come talk to me about it.
Right.
And because she's talking to me more about it every day, she's feeling better about herself. She's able to get through it. Just don't feel like it's too much pride to look out for your own self.
Or it's something that's embarrassing. Because I didn't realize how important going to counseling was until I'm currently in the master's program, and I'm going to get my master's in clinical mental health counseling. I started going to counseling myself. And when I tell you, I felt so much different. I felt better, and then people always call counselors, psychiatrists, all them shrinks, and you going to see they help you. You need to go see one. So stop talking about people that do go.
Right.
Because I think that one thing, because I had an issue with that. Like I used to feel a certain type of way, and I'd be like, okay, I ain't supposed to be feeling like this. I don't need to feel like this. But I had to learn it is okay to feel how you feel.
Yeah. Where do you think that came from? Like the idea that black people don't need to go to counselors?
I was about to say, I was telling her earlier.
Yeah. We got Jeremy
about
White.
the movie Fences.
Time.
With Denzel.
Denzel, I never seen the one with Denzel, but I seen the one with
The old one.
I forgot. Yeah, the one that came out earlier.
The play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was talking about when his son said, "You love me," he was like, "What you mean?
Great
I
scene. That
love
was a
you?"
powerful scene too.
And he was like, "I don't have to love you. I'm like, you got food in your stomach, right?
Yeah.
You got clothes on your back, right? I don't have to say I love you. You don't need to go around trying to get love from somebody. You know, like you work for a white person, they ain't gonna make sure you love." Or not just a white person, just a person, period.
Right.
So we think like throughout that generation, it was like I'm strong. I don't need to show my kids love. It's more of a I need to show my kids how to work this game in this life where this world we call life, you know.
Right.
So it's like okay. Sometimes it's pride. And that's how you be raised. It depends on how you raised. It's either pride or you, like you said, it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be strong. It's not pride. I'm just my father wasn't complaining about his life. And he had more problems to deal with. He had more kids to worry about. You know, so is it prideful or you think you should be this way because you watch people in your
I
family.
think that too, like, and it goes back to that thing where I said generational trauma, where you know this is what you saw, so this is what or how you are programmed to be. So I don't know no different than what I grew up seeing. And so that's why I feel as if sometimes you have to be able to go and individualize yourself.
Right.
You know, you are your own person. Your parents were who they were. And it's like I always go back and tell people, you don't have to parent how you were parented.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the way that your parents were. You know, you have to go and do what works for you, not what you saw work for them, because what worked for them and how they handle the situation may not necessarily be something that is workable for you.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah.
I have we got some snaps and some hearts and love when you said that. I have the pleasure, like we said, of growing in a 2-parent household, having a strong father, having a strong mother, as well as a very vulnerable and emotional mother, having a vulnerable and emotional father, having a vulnerable and emotional family. Like, I think my family, we gets the feels. We gets the feels quite a bit. So I'm blessed to actually know how to interpret it and not feel weak about it. I did struggle with it as a kid, not gonna lie. I did struggle with it growing up because there were so many other spectrums in my life that weren't normal. For as like growing up with the illness is not normal for a child to live, go to school, want to play and things like that. And you have black families or black mothers and fathers who want to protect you and want your longevity, want you to do better than, like, I think all parents who have a sense of knowing or pride or just feel like they know this is how it's supposed to go, want so much for their kids beyond them. And
I'm interested in CJ too.
yeah, and we have, please do. CJ's pretty cool right now. We have this sense of belonging or need to be even better or just like our father. You have some people like, I want to be just like my dad. I want to be just like my mom. I want to just, some of them even go to this extent and say, I want to be just like my aunties and uncles. They sometimes don't even come off as aunties and uncles. They're like mother and father figures. Cousins. I done had many cousins that were pretty much mamas to me. You know, my brother was a father to me. My sister was a mother to me in times of need. And that's more of a mental and psychological or even spiritual, social. Like, you know, I think we're doing okay, but I think the vision of what we see massively is not there. Like, people are getting the wrong interpretations about what real black love is. For the ones that's not on reality TV, and not saying that that's not their real life, but when we aren't on camera, when we're not looked at, when we are actually under the radar, like, you see the nitty gritty of what real black love is and what real like strength is to what's needed. And go to CJ's comment.
So CJ said, what happens when counseling doesn't work and it leads to a horrible outcome?
Okay.
And so I kind of feel like sometimes counseling may be one of those things that not work for some people because they go into counseling not knowing or understanding what it is.
Right.
Counselors don't give advice.
No.
If counselors gave advice, I don't think counseling would even be a professional field because you would have a lot of them that would be sued.
Yeah.
Because they telling people, giving advice, you told me to do this, and then what they expected to happen from that don't happen, then their counselor got sued, now they got a job, and it's out of the profession as a whole.
Right.
So I think that, you know, people have the wrong understanding of what counseling is. Counselors hold your hand and walk you through the process. They help you understand what you're going through, and they talk you around to the point where you figure out the solution to your problem yourself. So it's kind of like, I don't even want to say it's a mind game or anything like that, but it's kind of like helping you, what it is with your thoughts. Organize your thoughts or generate your thoughts or whatever to help you see things in a different perspective than what you're seeing them. And then when I think it works for people when they go into counseling and they actually want counseling. That's what someone just said. That's what someone just said in the comments. Some people go just to say that they I'm
Yeah.
going to counseling.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm going to counseling.
just being there or just saying that I have an appointment or actually going to that appointment does not work if you're not actually putting in the work ethic.
The work, because you know what,
Mhm.
most of the work usually happens outside of the counseling room.
Mhm.
Because then once that person leave, okay, we're in the now and we're talking about everything here and now. But when you leave, you have the time to think and process all the information that you
Right.
and that counselor discuss in that room. Now, if it does not work beyond that point, then you need to seek out some more help. Whether that person may need whether that person may need some commitment papers because they have something more serious than what that counselor can help them with, or even refer them to another counselor. So I think that understanding the concept of counseling is what most people need before they step into the room to see a counselor.
I would like to charge in the comments and with us real quick is like
It is like a mirror.
What is definitely like a mirror. What is a form of counseling that's not like professional counseling that you guys do to heal or to
Hey,
get
Derek.
this stuff? One of my forms of counseling, and I'm going because we're on the topics of black love and what we can do for each other. My form of counseling is black family. Like I stay as close as I can to letting them know that I'm with them in a sense of when I'm in your presence, because sometimes I don't do it well when I'm far away from them or things like that. I make sure I let them know that hey, you're welcome to come in here, get in the nap. Let's shoot some cards. Let's talk about something that you just went through, or let's not talk about something you just went through, so you can get your mind off it. I love black music lately. We're going back into Calandra, Joyner, and Ginsu's music that I'm gonna play one or two more tracks later on. I love embracing, supporting or embracing the artistry because it literally heals. Like I just, and this is a personal note. I just got a divorce, and I've been divorced about almost 2 years now, and I found that going to open mics, going to hear poetry, going to see art, or just take myself out to eat to restaurants that are kind of black, because I'm on the black love. That's my form of counseling and healing. Writing is my form of healing. Doing something proactive in school for is like my mother's a teacher. I've been going to her, her classrooms and helping with programs and things like that. That's a form of counseling you can do that's outside of actually sitting down to a psychologist. What about you, Mario?
For me,
Say cheese.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is a couple years ago, I actually lost my daughter. It was a stillbirth. It was nobody's fault, but the way I dealt with it, as far as counseling, the way I dealt with it is I surrounded myself with anyone that made me feel good or made me smile.
Yeah.
Anyone, like, of course, my best friend CJ, Vaughn, anybody who I could just sit up and talk to about anything. It didn't matter what it
And
was.
not feel judged.
Yeah.
And not feel judged about it. I would surround myself with those people, and over time, it hurt less and less. And to this
Yeah.
day, of course, every day I still think about it, but
Yeah.
to this day, I'm dealing with it, but that's just how I end up dealing with mine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's some realistic healing for you. Like that's some realistic counseling. Because a lot of people don't think counseling with a professional is gonna work for us. So that's a form of realistic healing. You can always find out for yourself. I'm gonna go to a comment Jerry White said. Shout out to my father, Black Love for Real. That's the support that people get, and thank you guys for sharing, tuning in. Share some more.
Right.
Throw in some more ideas about the show, about music, about how we can make this better. But I'm gonna go back into the comments on something my dad said. He said, "Are we ready to accept what it is to change the channel of this program? That is psychological, keeping us from pooling together to take care of our people as a whole. Terrible with the typing thing." that's more him. You guys have changed. You guys have changed in your topic 3 times since I started typing. We do that. I ain't gonna lie.
We gotta get better. We said it was gonna be all over the place when it first started.
We did.
Let us make.
I promise we're gonna have a whole like bulletin board of notes where we like, okay, 10 minutes on this, 10 minutes on that, nothing else. Let y'all come in. We are. But that's I think that's black people too. Y'all part of everything. Y'all part of everything, you know what I'm saying? How many things we can actually account to that black people have made? Like I can't imagine life if black people didn't invent certain things or like I don't think some of these lights in here would be working. I don't think I can get on this internet like that. Yeah, so shout out to
It is a broad topic.
you black people out here who actually producing stuff, not anti-interracial or anti-white. I'm pro-black though. I'm super pro. Like I love me some melanin. Go ahead. Yeah, at the end he was like black love. Are you willing to die for it? Oh. Are y'all willing to die for it?
Oh.
That's a real good question. That's a really good question.
In
Oh, in the beginning, he was saying, are we ready to accept what it is to change the channel of this program? And you put program.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah. And that is psychological, keeping us from pooling together. So, programming. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know when you were saying what's some things you could do to heal. I'm sorry, Uncle Jerry. I might need to go on camera. I don't need to have the subject.
We definitely gonna have to make sure everybody's seen because like she been throwing stuff all day, right? All day, and we've been looking on the side like.
I'm fine.
Next time she gonna be in here.
Okay. But I can say this.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
Love yourself.
And that was a point I wanted to say earlier too.
That's a big thing that I had to learn. When you want to heal, you need to go in a corner.
Oh.
Find out who you are.
Yeah.
That's before you let anyone else in. And it's
I'm
okay if you already let people in, but you have to love everything about you. You have to love your insides. You have to find out about you. And another thing that you have to learn is you have to get on the knees and pray. And ask the Lord to give you this, all this that you need to be. And when you get through doing that, you got to go back to yourself. Yeah. You got to go back to who you are. And you have to find your inner self, who you are. Because a lot of people will tell you all day, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And then when you get home, you still in your state of mind. So you have to love yourself, love who you are, find out who you are. No one can take your black love power from you, no matter how they try and what they try to do. I don't know who I'm talking to. if they trying to take it from you, they can't get it from you. They can't get it. You know that is a part of you, who you are, who you need to be, and love yourself first. I think I had a problem with it. I didn't love myself enough to not go through a lot of things I went through. So I went through a lot of things till I started loving myself. Now you can't tell me nothing. Now I do get into that depressed mode, but I know how to get myself out of it because we human. We human beings. We're going to go through depressed moments. Right. But you have to love yourself and love who you are. And that's my biggest thing. Love yourself. When I was talking to Nick, I just was in Walmart. And I stopped her. And I said, and didn't know that she did this. And I had told her I wanted to do it. I had did a women empowerment luncheon and stuff at my church. And I had to find out what do I like to do now. And by me being off, I can kind of think of things that I want to do and who I want to be now. Yeah. And now I know who I want to be and I know who I want to do. Nobody can tell me that now. Right. But I had to get in a closet and find out who I want to be. So that's my advice. Love yourself, whatever power you need to get into knowing you. And don't try to say, people do YouTube all the time, or I don't want to be a YouTube blogger. That's what other people do. If you really do that, don't never dumb me down on yourself.
Any of it.
Do whatever you want to do. Don't say if you wanted to host different things and I'm not this person. I'm not gonna do it. I'm telling you, when I did my first empowerment luncheon for women, it was powerful. I loved it. Ready to do another one again. Do what you need to do and love yourself. Okay,
so my dad said, like, if you believe in something something, stick to it, and don't give a fuck about what anybody else
There's no
says.
bad to say.
Yep, we're gonna go to comments. 2 comments for sure, but Derek Wash first. Derek Wash says,
Counseling and therapy was the best thing that I ever done after my first divorce from my first wife. I think I put something else in there. At all costs, avoid counseling from a preacher.
why is that? As I get the next comment together.
Like, I feel that it's so. I feel like you need both, but when you go to counseling for a pastor, he's going to look at it from a spiritual lens. Everything is going to be, from that perspective, and you're going to get scriptures and everything. Not saying that it's a bad thing, because it's not. But sometimes you need to see someone who is actually a professional counselor, because then you're able to get to the deep-rooted cause of some things, to understand, even if your spouse brought up a trigger for you, you know what I mean? And it's a trigger, but you're not understanding why it is one, if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to make this be a trigger for you?
Right.
What did he say?
And
majority of you.
Cool.
Oh no, I was reading another comment. He said majority of people aren't teaching truth. But yeah, I think that that you need to see a professional counselor outside
You
of
saying that they need both.
They do
Yeah.
need both. But when it comes to things that are more deeply rooted and more things that are like on a mental health level, you need to see a counselor, because they're more holistic with the approach.
And some-
Because you have to work on the individual person and then work on them together.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta break down the person who you are before you can put that with who they soulmate is. You can't put them with their soulmate. You can't say, and I think when we walked into a counseling session, they said, "Oh, y'all look so good together."
Yeah.
And
They
you
stop-
like, do you know what's going
Going
on
Yeah.
with us? So it's like they put up that professional pastoring. We supposed to, God say, keep us together.
To piggyback with what she's saying, do you know what's going on? Something in the comment that someone said. J.R. Tate says, as blacks, our problems are either written off or pacified. Which you just said and it's mainly because this country and its policies, principles understand the bigger picture, that we are the backbone of its economics and keeping us in our current state and beneficial. Programming is the solution and the problem. We need new programming. Treat the root of the problems that have branched out and the various other issues we face on multiple levels. So it's a long comment, make me long-winded, but that gets to the center of almost everything we're talking about. A lot of things, even going back to generation curses, breaking habits, breaking chains, and things like that. We were taught, and we actually need to break a certain teachings.
And then I think that we also, I think I wrote that down, that we have an issue with being what we need each other to be, or what we need from each other.
Right.
Where it be, you may need when we're talking about the thing of being strong, you may, sometimes you may need somebody to be strong for you.
Right.
Because being strong it weighs on you mentally
It
and
does.
physically.
So what we found in it is a black culture then.
Where we fall in it? That's a bonus question. So,
Yeah.
so
Because we are dropping the ball somewhere with each other of being that strong in what we need. And is it because our generation curses?
I think so. And then another thing that I wrote down is like, I said consistency, and it's kind of like, and even when it comes to like the perspective of a relationship where, it's kind of like, some people put their, like, I'm putting my bid in, like I got his or her number. After that, like, I've worked hard enough to get that, and then after that I'm done. Like, I ain't gotta do nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like then you come into like inconsistencies.
okay.
Then you come into, I can't trust this person because they're inconsistent, and because they're inconsistent, I'm wondering what the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
Why him or her ain't calling, or texting me? And then what else did I
Maybe
put?
that anxiety.
Yeah. And then I feel like that brings you to the point too of, and I know I do sometimes. You kind of feel like you're getting your own way. That if you do get someone who is genuinely trying to to be there or be what you need, you don't believe it or trust it because it's kind of like this shit almost too good to be true.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think, Mario, for is like our mistakes or where are we failing at? I mean, there's a number of things. That's the thing about acknowledging, your triggers and things like that. It's a number of things, but what's the core major one? Get in the comments too, which I think the major core of what we are failing at.
I know a big one.
Okay.
But
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but it's a big one. I think
I want to address that when she gets there.
I think we pacify each other too much. And we don't support each other enough to say, hey, you can do this and do whatever you want to be. We, when Donald Trump wanted to be president, he believed it, he saw it, and he went forward.
Unfortunately.
He had people, to go, but I'm just saying he had people to say he can do it.
He can do it, right.
So if I say I want to be president, how many people gonna shot me down? You're a girl from Mississippi, you ain't got this and that. How you gonna be president? You don't say you believe it, you can do it. I can believe you.
Because
can
you
do
know
it.
where I think that come from? Because I saw a comment somewhere, I don't know where, but it said that they will not, and it's even like with the black business and all that, and then even what you're saying, people will not support you until they see someone bigger than them support you. You know what I mean? Like I'm just little old Ned. I'm from Mississippi. I want to be a mainstream artist. Everybody else like, oh shit, that's just Ned from from Greenville. But you get somebody like I'll say this. I posted a video of me singing on Instagram, and Erykah Badu liked it because I sang one of her songs. And I was like, what? But it's kind of like, okay, a lot of people, other people start like, so it's kind of like they, if when someone bigger, starts supporting you, that's when they feel like, oh, okay, well maybe she is doing good, or da da da, or maybe he is doing good, because this person right here recognized them, so go net, go kill, like, you know what I'm saying?
So so to go from where you guys, one of the problems is we don't validate or value our own works outside of mainstream. And we can always do better. Like you, 16 people who tuning in and shared it and gave us over 20 some shares and stuff. That's validating and actually valuing, believing in us. My thing, if I had to say one, because I can say many, is we do not open-mindedly find different ways to address anything. And this is no knock, and I'm gonna say this in my own opinion, and not to knock anything of a religious state or anything like that. I feel like it's common in the South, and it's common in black families, period, to rely a lot on our spirituality for like Jesus Christ, Christianity, things like that, when we can actually take to believing in or trusting different faiths of self. I'm not knocking religion or accepting religion. I'm actually saying that there's a balance to life right now, and we sometimes just hope and wish instead of acting. Like, we hope and wish that we're gonna pray, God gonna get us there, and we allow it. We just stay at the war room.
But
Sometimes,
you know where that Bible scripture comes from? Faith without work is
yeah,
dead.
faith without work is
what you're
definitely
saying
dead.
is not wrong, because he wants us to believe that he can do it for us, but he also give us that you gotta go out here and work your butt out too if you want this, because if he give you something, it's gonna be everlasting. So it's gonna last a long. It's gonna be. I'm not saying I get what you're saying, but I'm not taking from what you're saying.
But it's not like you can't pray and ask for something and just sit there and wait on it to happen. You have to keep moving and do the work to get to the expected outcome.
Right.
You gotta do them overnights and you know how we had to do our papers. We wanted to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put in the research.
I wanted to, in 2017, I wanted to graduate. And I worked a 40-hour job, full-time job, and I did 22 hours. I got on my knees, I prayed, I said, I want to do this. I feel like he talks to me, so he said, hey, you want to do this? You need to do this. Okay?
Uh-huh.
How this gonna get done? I don't know, but it is. So
Right.
I put in the work to get to where I want to be at now. So now I know that you got to put in them overtime hours. You got to do this and do that. And cause a lot of black thinks that people owe them things. And you, not saying nobody owe you, but if you say, hey, next time I want to be a daytime TV host, girl, I got you. Because I feel like if she don't make it, I'm going to make
Right.
it. So if
We
I
in
say
there.
I'm going to be one, hey, she going to be the first. We
That
just
go,
coming
back
cool.
that go back to that thing that I said in the beginning. If I made it and I'm not willing to help anybody else, then I really ain't make it at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because some people have an issue with helping people and trying to help somebody else make it because they don't want to feel as if they gonna pass me. It's not even necessarily about that. And the one thing I would tell you, people will never forget who was there to support them and who helped them. They ain't gonna never forget.
Yeah. Let me drop a comment on that statement that you made, and this is from J.R. Tate again, and it was, "My people perish from a lack of knowledge. Love conquers all. So why is hate practice?" Like, I think black people practice hate more than they practice love.
And like I said, nobody wants anybody to get ahead of them.
Nobody wants
the
to be
crab
hit.
in the bucket
Right.
mentality.
Yeah. So if we're at a place where we're complacent with ourselves and we're valuing too much outside of us, like you have to value yourself first before you can even acknowledge that other people are doing good. Because when you acknowledge that other people are doing good and you feel crappy about yourself, you instantly gonna come off like I can't get it
You're a
right.
negative person.
I can't get it right. They doing better. Like I don't want to see
Then
them
you
grow.
not wanna
But
do-
you gotta have value in yourself first, and then you can love on yourself. Love on your mentality, what you've learned, what you've accomplished, your schooling, your children growing up strong, and then when you can get yourself together and see that it's great and it's still building, then we can push up and love on others too, without it being more of like, I hate to see them doing this. Hate does get views. It do get views. Does it give the positive nature that you want though? You know.
So as a black person now, do we have a problem with when we going and we see the vision, we see what we need to do, and we understand the black love, because this is a black love segment, we understand that. But what if my sister or my brother, I got to leave them?
Right.
Because they not going. Not saying they're not going where I'm going, but they pulling me down where I'm trying to go. So is
Right.
it okay to keep going?
I think that in that sense you would, because like you said, it's that crab in the bucket mentality. You know what I mean? And you,
Because
it's sometimes that person doing that, and that may be their intention from jump. You know what I mean? To keep you from going to where you need to be. And sometimes it's kind of like shedding weight or shedding that dead skin. Like, you gotta, in order for me to get to where I gotta go, and I see that this person isn't with me. Like, they with me, but they really ain't with me. No, I'm sorry, so I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I think we feel bad though as a black
we
culture.
do.
Like for that. I'm sorry. I do think we feel bad. I think that's a big thing too. We feel bad because we had to let go people to, and then it comes saying, oh, she thinks or he or she thinks she's too much, or she thinks she this, or she thinks she that, but it's not that.
But you
people.
know, I feel like when people say stuff like, and I'm sorry, that like when people say and do stuff like that, it really, really irritates my soul. And I say that because you can't say, oh, he or she think they better than such and such. No, that's because that's what you think about yourself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, either you can come and get with me, and because that person lacks confidence within themselves. When they say, oh, him or her feel like they better, like you said, it's not even necessarily that. That's how you feel yourself. So that's
Right.
what you think about that person. Because sometimes that's not, you have some people who do think like that. But if you really actually talk to someone and get to know them, that may not even necessarily be the case. Does that make sense what I just said?
No, it's a
Huh?
it's
You're talking about projecting. Projecting that.
Yeah, they're projecting your
Projecting,
emotions
yeah.
and thoughts onto you. Yeah.
yeah,
that-
because of what they feel like they is at the moment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have a few, like, some really, really good comments in here.
I was gonna say one too from Derek.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because he said, also, I wish our women would take a big look at themselves before they go into men in a men bashing trip. Some of our women go from self-righteous and self-absorbed all in one, all in the matter of what's that, of one time space. So like I mentioned earlier when I said that I'm a single parent and I'm raising a son, I used to, but not no more. I don't man bash. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean there was a time where I was so hurt and all I did was
It's dope you can acknowledge that you did.
men ain't that.
Yeah.
F them.
But I'm with her.
But
Yeah.
but I realized that I cannot do that because I'm at a
that's
point.
because we are from. When you know that you're a good woman,
That
I know we
too.
getting off topic a little bit, but when you know that you that woman, you know that I'm this, and they hurt, they like take that and just, when I say crush you, like I know y'all probably don't understand us when we probably feel that as being a single parent, and when I was a single parent too, getting crushed, and I was like, I just want to love you, and you crushing my soul and my spirit, and I'm being this all that you need me to be. It's like, you know what, he and no this and that. So that person is right there in the comment. We do need to check ourselves, but as a single parent, it's kind of hard when you because most men now, now just cut off the woman. They cut off the kids too. So as a woman, I'm gonna say that makes you even more mad. Don't play with my kids, you know. So that's probably why y'all might not understand how hard a black woman, you know, why we get so mad, because you cut me off, but you gotta cut the child off too.
Right.
Yeah, that's wrong.
It is.
You know, that's just wrong. Because if we cut off the child, say if the man had the child and we cut off, we will be called a lot of stuff. Yes. So when y'all cut off, not saying y'all saying men, black men in general, when they cut off the child, that's probably why we go so hard as a single parent. When you cut off the child, you cut off us too. You know. And, cut off us, then cut off the child. That's a lot. And that's what the attitude comes in.
But I was going to say too that I just like, it's something that I became more conscious of in not doing it, or how I say it, because I might still say it sometimes. But I'm raising a boy to eventually be a man, and I don't want to feel as if, you know, he's a part of that population that I'm bashing. But I don't want him to exhibit those behaviors of the people who.
But how would you handle when he comes home and do something that you have been in a relationship with, that you went through? How would you handle it? Yeah. Would you tell him, like, hey, sit down and tell him his actions?
I would sit down and tell him that, you know, this isn't right, because I'm the type of person, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You my son, I love you, but I don't agree with what you did, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, we got a lot of parents that they're gonna agree, but they don't tell their son they agree. They just let them go. Mm-hmm. And women too, don't get me wrong, women too don't, I'm gonna say black. They don't tell us, they just go and do it. They don't agree. They just don't tell. Just don't tell when you wrong. Just say when you wrong. They feel like, well, my son or my daughter gonna leave me, or I can't tell that she wrong because it's my responsibility to hold her hand even at 40 years old. No, tell me when I'm wrong. And I think that's a big thing
then you're enabling behavior.
See, I love that you said that, you know, tell you what's wrong, and it works on both sides. Mm-hmm. You know, as a child who still has parents, as a brother, as a sister, I'm a brother to a brother and a brother to a sister, as a cousin, as, you know, a once husband, like acknowledging your true failures, or your true where I was wrong, or even being told it and accepting it in the most positive manner is the best thing we can do in order to not create a disaccord. When we lash out because we see wrongdoings, a wrongdoing doesn't necessarily mean I need to have an eye for an eye mentality. You know, I've seen black women do it. I've seen black men do it. I've seen mothers, fathers do an eye for an eye type of healing compared to like that. That's not even
I
really
hate
healing.
that because that doesn't
And-
make it doesn't
Right,
it
and
doesn't make it better.
we've all done it. Like as an individual who has made many mistakes and probably will still make mistakes, but I've gotten to the point where acknowledging my toxicness, whether it been if I ever felt like I was a womanizer, if I ever felt like I was abuser of someone's kindness, if I ever felt like I was a horrible brother because of my lack of being there or because of my selfishness to do things that may have affected people without me even like knowing of the consequences or consciously knowing of the consequences, but still like taking in of my pride or taking my self-pleasure, like acknowledging it and then also embracing it to the point where this happened. I gotta be strong enough to make sure this don't happen again to produce my whatchamacallit. I'm gonna let Mario get some more thoughts on that before we
Close it out.
Yeah.
Well, y'all that do know me on part of the I'm gonna touch back on the man bashing part.
Yeah.
I always have something to say on that, and I'm always
Good
being
stuff.
straightforward with it, and I'm always just being blunt and saying bitches ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
My reason for saying that is, there's a lot of women put all men in the same category,
Category.
and that's something I really hate. So my reason for saying bitches ain't shit is because you put me in the same category as somebody I don't know. Just because he did this to you last relationship, don't mean I'm gonna do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let everybody
totally
start off with a
different
clean
Yeah,
slate.
clean slate. Every time we get into something new, or even if it's not something new, like recognize that I'm not the one that hurt you that day. I'm not the one that actually, every time you think of something bad, that picture comes into your head. Don't project my
Like
face.
you said, I'm not the one that hurt you that day. I could be your healer, but you hurt me instead.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things why I said like sometimes we get in our own way because we've dealt with so much stuff that we don't know how to recognize when someone is actually being genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate type of. No, we don't mean to. But it's,
But then it
Yeah.
goes back to what we said earlier, daddy issues. It goes back to your daddy issues. Because they do play a big part. And then y'all probably trigger something in us to make us be like, dang, I've been through this before and I'm not going through this again. So you're going to automatically be like, we're going to tear your head off because we don't want to go through what we already have been through again. But it's wrong. It's wrong.
But we all are afraid of taking risks. But I feel like in order you can go into a situation where you're protecting your heart. But I also feel like in order for you to genuinely know if someone is trying to be there for you, and I'm closing out with this. But in order for you to know that someone is actually trying to be there for you, then you have to be willing to take a risk.
Yeah.
So take a risk.
Take a risk. So black love is sacrifice, it's risk, it's forgiveness, it's understanding, it's knowledge, uncompromising and compromising at the same time, and it's unlimited. It's unlimited where we can go. Just like how this live just went. It was unlimited conversation and we can go forever. And
We went longer than we needed.
yeah, longer than we needed to. It did, but I am.
An hour 22 minutes.
Yeah, we getting better. This second video, we gonna get better.
Yeah, I tried to limit it
Yeah.
to 30 minutes, but
I talk too much.
Yeah, we're gonna practice next time. We're gonna practice next time.
see y'all later.
Yeah. But I am Frozen Deception of the Nappy, not another podcast people use. I go by Frozen Deception. You can find me on Facebook at Trevondrian White, Instagram at Frozen_Deception. It's PHROZEN_DEUCEPTION. You can follow us on the Nappy. That's the Nappy Network. That's THENAPPY with a period between everything. Yeah, that's my spiel for my networking. Please follow my friends. They about to tell you where you can find them.
Okay, I'm Ned of The Girl Code. You can find me on YouTube at The Girl Code. You can find me on Instagram at SouthernBelle_1908. Facebook at Ned Daniels.
Yeah.
And,
Mario Barnes. Find Mario Bonds on Facebook. You'll find, you go to my profile, you'll find my Instagram and Snapchat information. Is anybody out there that they needs help moving and everything?
Dope.
I'm the guy.
Dope. For the last 2 months, I've been using him.
Oh.
The last 2 months. First person I called. I make sure we treat him right too. He a good friend. But he bummed though. Anybody else?
Why you looking at me?
Cause you been on the live now. Fine, before she come on.
But I just have an Instagram. Everything is under construction, but you can find me at Brown Kia, KEIA03. That's my Instagram. I'm trying to get a women empowerment thing on. So you don't hear some more from me. Thank you.
Yep. And if you like some of the music that wasn't instrumental, we have Ginsu, the Blurred Philosopher with Gravitational Pull on there. Pretty dope music. Kalandra Joyner, that's KALANDROJOYNER. She's in the comments as KJ Mr. Perfect. She put her link in there. Go follow her on YouTube. Beautiful music, great stuff. Any other positive black stuff, y'all just send to us. We trying to get everybody on the platform. I'm gonna give my tech crew, the tech crew some.
Social media.
Okay, well,
Find me in the comments, right?
find in the comments, Anna
Anna
McCary,
McCary.
J.R. Tate, Jeremy White. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Questions, comments, concerns, help us make this better. Help us make this live better. We got so much more that we want to bring to you guys. Thank you guys so much, and we out. Oh, don't sleep on us. As a matter of fact, you better wake your ass up. Don't.
Yeah, that one's still going.